Hello, 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 and welcome to the Q&A Thursday. Just kidding, it's TRC podcast. I'm brain dead. I was distracted because Anthony literally dipped into the room, but we're hiding it with this camera angle so you didn't know he'd be late.
Silly goose.
Anyway, I'm going to scoot a little further in here. There we go. That's more like it. All right. So, Anthony, welcome to the podcast. Nice to have you here in studio with me.
Feels good.
You know who's not in studio with us, though?
Who is not here?
The master of shine, Levi Gates. Where is that guy?
I don't know. Probably somewhere in the ether. Maybe he's out climbing a mountain.
There he is.
What the heck? There he is right there.
Here.
There he
right
is.
Here, hanging out.
How long have you been there for?
Broadcasting like 25 minutes.
That makes more
I
sense
didn't know
now.
what was going on. No one was talking to me. I couldn't hear anybody's voice.
That's part of the fun. It keeps you guessing right up until the last minute. But hey, glad to have y'all here.
Exactly
we
right.
are hanging out, doing our usual spiel. If you're new to the podcast and you're used to Rag Company stuff on the main channel and you just see us doing detailing stuff, here we like to talk about our weekends. We like to talk about stuff that isn't always detailing related, but you know, it oftentimes ties back into it. So if you find us going on weird tangents, just roll with it. That's what the show's all about. We're having fun discussions. Who knows where it's going to end up, but that is a lot of the fun. So I encourage you to contribute to that. Throw your comments or questions, jokes, whatever you got in the live chat. We always appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please tell a friend about this too. We always love seeing new faces, new folks coming in. So guys, anything to do with housekeeping? What are we doing this week? TRC wise, before we, have our sweets and desserts, we got to have our vegetables. So what's up?
Absolutely, Dane. So a couple housekeeping things here regarding one big thing is the sale that's currently going on right now at theragcompany.com.
Okay.
So you, can enjoy a romantic getaway evening, maybe a dozen Dragos, maybe 20% off of G-Technic products, right? Maybe some plush Eagle Edgeless towels. So head to theragcompany.com, click on that sale there right there for me, Nick, and we're going to dive in to show you what kind of deals you could be looking at. So right now, this is literally insane. And I'm telling you guys, legitimately, this is probably one of the best deals we've ever had, because we as employees don't even get these towels this cheap. So, for example, the Dragos, right? A dozen Dragos, 12 for $12. Do you know how crazy that is? That's a 70-30 blend towel with a buttersoft suede edge, right? Which already costs quite a bit to make just because of the structure of everything.
Levi's pride and joy.
And it's a bucket towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucket
and the other
towel.
thing most people, I love the deal because it's cheaper than roses.
Yeah.
And you know
It is cheaper than
I love
roses.
giving towels.
But
Good luck wiping up a mess with roses. Am I right?
I'm just saying from like a detailer perspective, right? I mean, dude, you should be get after those, because those towels are one of the most ultimate interior, exterior polishing, wax removal, sealant removal, compound removal towels that we offer. And the fact that it's a bucket towel is very insane.
Yeah.
That and the fact that you can pick up the 60-pack, right, of Eagle Edgeless 500 for $20, right? So 6 towels for $20. You get a good variety in there. You're getting the balance between the ice gray and, of course, the delicious red color. So really, I mean, you have 2 towels there that can do so many things but work so well with each other depending on the scenario. And so you have an ultra plush and you have kind of a workhorse towel. But those Dragos, you can't kill them, right? Roses, they die.
Yeah.
Right? They have thorns. They're uncomfortable, right?
But you know what a Drago says?
What?
If he dies, he dies.
Exactly, right? But you know what you can
He's
do?
referring to the roses.
And I'm
He
telling you
won't
right
die.
now, if I came home to a romantic night, right? I'm thinking, Valentine's Day, right? I might find myself maybe like a pathway of rose petals. Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with those rose petals, right? Because rose petals generally are disgusting. They're outside. They could be infested with bugs. They could have thorns somehow in the rose petal itself, right? Don't mess with that.
Great to look at.
Just throw the Dragos on the floor, right? Create a pathway of these Dragos. It's just as sexy.
You'll be glad to have the absorption so close by.
Yeah, exactly.
That too, but make sure that you vacuum your floor and clean your baseboards properly before you throw those towels on the floor, because it'll grab all that dog hair.
Absolutely
it's gonna pick it
true.
up.
Yeah.
Dragos, because of that great fiber, because of the terry weave, those little fingers, they're going to be able to do the job, get all that stuff cleaned up. So clean it up before, so you don't ruin them. That's all.
But you know what won't clean the floors when you throw towels on them are rose petals, right?
No, they won't.
They're kind of useless.
They'll actually stain. Yeah, they might actually stain.
Guys, I'm just saying you need to go buy those Drago towels, right? I get it. The 60-pack, it's not something you need right now. You already have plenty of Eagle Edgeless. Go buy the freaking Dragos, because that's seriously such a stupid good deal.
Yeah.
Levi, it's cheaper than we get them for.
It sounds like we're selling them
Me
more,
and
but
you,
the truth is,
you don't get them for a
we
bucket
never
towel.
have them at that
We don't even get them
price.
for a bucket towel.
It's a stupid good price.
So cheap. So cheap.
So it's something to think about.
Yeah.
And by think about, I mean you have literally 12 hours to get that order in before the sale ends. So
From the time of this broadcast, which, if you're listening to this later, sorry.
yeah, but that, and then you have the G-Technic sale, right? 20% off all G-Technic products. And so, I mean...
Is it because they're oftentimes red?
It is. It is. It's a good color scheme thing.
It is a good
but
choice.
what we tried to do this year was get the holiday sale in about a week before the big day, right?
Right.
Because... I mean, we want you to be able to do a Valentine's Day wash, a Valentine's Day detail,
Have
right?
it already on the day of, rather than being like, I just ordered my stuff on the day and then wait a week when it's no longer relevant for it to show up.
It's like, well, I'll have to wait till next year, right?
Or
Nobody,
like
you
a
know,
couple of days, depending on how close you live, it could be very quick.
One thing we didn't talk about was those facial cloths, and that really, those are makeup removal towels,
Yes.
folks. Not only are they super soft, super comfortable, but your significant other will love them. And we'll start to use them and maybe pair it with a little rags to riches and teach them how to wash it. And then maybe when you're buying more detailing products and maybe your special lady friend or partner sees that and goes, hey, give me some more of those facial cloths. I really like those. They're great around the house. I like using the white waffle weaves around the house. They're great for cleaning mirrors and the sinks and all that kind of stuff. So there's tons of uses for them. So pick those up as well.
True.
And that's cheap.
And-
Look at that 4-pack, $2. $2 for 4 towels.
Yeah. Pretty insane, man.
Nuts.
So I would say, though, for the most part, I mean, that sale is going to be great. Again, about a day left. G-Technic products, though, maybe some things to consider. I'd obviously always consider CSL, maybe a little bit of EXO. Tri-Clean is a great interior product, right?
Great interior product.
Panel wipe, because you can never really just have too much panel wipe, right? And
I need to remove everything possible.
I mean,
instantly.
what else would you take, Levi? What are you running out of on G-Technic stuff? What would you stock up on?
Panel wipe. That's my number one, probably my number one thing that I go through the most of. I also love Perfect Glass. You can never have enough glass cleaners.
You can. You
and
can.
then
I have enough
CTV3.
glass cleaner.
I don't.
Yeah.
I go through so much.
You can have mine.
CTV3.
Uh-huh.
That's the other. That's a great comment, David.
Thank you, David.
But getting CTV3 at 20% off, man, you just need to keep that in your arsenal. Always have that on you. Always be able to, beck and call. It's a great deal, and of course, just pick up some coatings,
Of course.
especially at this time. Great price.
If you're in the market for a coating, you can't go wrong with the G-Technic line.
Yeah, I agree. I also think there's one product I was going to mention that I think that people probably should consider just to have on you. And that was the G-Technic water spot remover, the W9, right? So I was playing with this over.
That's a good one to have.
So W9, I was playing with this over last week, right? I didn't talk about this on the podcast, but you know where you have your refrigerator, your water in the fridge?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know about you guys, but I get quite a bit of mineral buildup there, right?
Okay, makes sense.
It's where
I do.
it's the water in the fridge, right?
Yeah.
I use W9 on that, right? Insane.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it like literally broke off the crust of all of that mineral deposit and like went right after
So
it.
it dug in.
Yeah, I mean, granted, my fridge is only about a year old, right?
Yeah.
A little about a year and a half old, but the mineral deposit buildup was getting pretty bad. I mean,
Sure.
Katie was like, "Hey, this looks bad. Like, What? How do you clean
it
this?
It just looks dusty, crusty.
Well,
gross.
because she was going to take a Scotch Guard pad to it and start scrubbing the plastic.
That's going to do way more damage than just
And
taking
I'm thinking,
chemical
instead of doing
approach.
that, right, you're going to scratch up the plastic. Let's try this W9. And I used it on it. And it was insane, man. It's amazing.
Did you take the time to teach her the difference between a mechanical and a chemical decontamination?
No, I didn't. I just
Okay.
showed her the picture of the results, and she said, "Wow, that's amazing.
Okay.
You can do that from now on."
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on.
There you go.
So
Good job.
just another weird thing that I hyper focus on during a house cleaning and say that needs to be cleaned or fixed.
Well,
So-
for all the people who during the Q&As ask about off-label uses, there's an off-label use for you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, but besides that, house cleaning, I mean, that's it, man. 20% off theragcompany.com on G-Technic products. Score on Dragos for the rest of the day. Get them while you can. Get them while they're hot.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. Levi, anything to add before we move on?
No, that's it. It sounds great. So,
Okay. Well, since you're kind of trapped in the void there, you're hanging out at MOS HQ, why don't you tell us about your weekend first so we don't get lost in the delay there. But you go ahead and carry this one.
So thanks, Dane, for having me. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Broadcasting live from the MOS HQ, wearing my Detail Solutions podcast that I got at MTE from my good friend Alex Russell.
That's
If
cool.
you guys haven't been listening to the Detail Solutions podcast, it's, I think, quite possibly the next great podcast that's happening. It's been going on for about a year and a half or so, and it's amazing. So it's pretty great. So you have to check it out. As to what I was doing at home, Dane, your mom just texted me and said that the yellow cake with chocolate frosting is in the break room waiting for me.
Yes.
Just get at it. And I am here at home and I can't go get it. So that's awesome. The cake made for my birthday.
Yeah.
Get to hang
Yellow
out.
cake
Do
is
not
very
eat it.
hard to find,
Oh
as
my
I found
gosh.
out from my mom. She was looking
It
quite a
is
while
so
to
good.
find
Levi,
them.
I will go and eat a piece for you and send you a
Okay.
video of me eating the cake with my hands.
I would like that. Thank you.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. That means a lot, and I want you to enjoy that piece on me, so to speak.
Ooh.
So here's the deal. I had a car this weekend. Pretty light,
Okay.
easy weekend. Nothing much to do, but I did have a car. So my buddy Wayne, who you guys have heard me talk about on podcast, he flips cars. He loves flipping cars. It's one of his favorite things to do, and it's always been his main, it's his hobby next to shooting guns, is just flipping cars. So he got a 2006 Suzuki Grand Vitara with only 100,000 miles on it.
All right.
He paid $1,500 for it.
Where does he find
This thing,
these cars? Where
I
does he
have
find them?
No, I have no idea. This thing's probably worth $6,000 on
Yeah.
a good day.
I mean,
And
to the right person, it's a great little off-roader.
It's in such Dane. I'm looking at this, and I know if you were looking at it, you'd go,
Yeah.
for $1,500, I would buy this and drive the wheels off of it.
Oh,
Because
heck
it's
yeah. They're great
so
little DDs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in awe of it. So anyway, needed detail. The whole right side covered in hard water spots that had been on there for better part of a decade. So I had to wet sand a couple spots just to try and break it down a little. There's some old man scratches and scuffs and things like that. So I did a little light wet sanding, a couple panels, hit it with some last cut and wool pad, buffed it out, did the headlights for him, and then just cleaned out the interior. The only dirty spot in the whole car was the driver's area. Everything else looked like it had never been sat down in. It looked like nobody had ever sat in the back seats.
So
it
do you
was
think this was
dusty.
like
It was
an
really
old
dusty.
man's car kind of thing where it was just
Yeah.
like
Oh,
just
yeah,
the guy
no.
had it and nobody else ever touched it?
Totally, it's the old man's car. So
Okay.
when I was talking to Wayne about it, he said the guy, he found it on Craigslist for $1,500. The guy posted it. He says he checks Craigslist and Facebook Messenger for like an hour every morning. And literally he does searches. Wayne will sometimes do like a targeted search, and other times he only does a monetary search. Like every car under $2,000.
And probably
And
listing
he'll
by
just go
most
through.
recently posted, because the more recent
Right.
they're posted, the
Yeah.
less people have seen them, the better deal you might get.
Yep. And that's how he does it every day. That's his morning, sits and has coffee and just peruses for about an hour and finds what he can find. So so the old man bought a new vehicle.
Oh.
Said that the dealership offered him $1,500 in trade, and he said, "No, I'm just going to keep it." And the reason was, he said that he felt he got a crappy deal on the new car, and he didn't want them to make any more money off of him.
I like that. Just a little bit of a spite move.
So he sold it privately for $1,500. He didn't even increase the price or anything. He just sold it for what they told him the trade-in value was on.
No, it just sounds like a man of principle.
I just didn't want them to have the money, basically. So
good on him.
Yeah. So I've been working on it. It's still sitting in here. I got to take it over. And
what color is it?
But it's done. It's
probably
gold.
silver or champagne
gold?
or something. Yeah, those always seem to come in those colors.
Gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but nice little rig, clean little rig.
Oh,
don't
Levi,
know.
is it
I can send some pictures to Nick?
Is it the standard Grand Vitara or is it the XL7, the 3-row?
It's the XL7 3-row.
Okay, so it is a 3-row. Okay. Because I was going to say,
so
between the two, the Grand Vitaras and their last generation that they offered in the U.S., I thought they were really good-looking little SUVs. Or really good-looking little
I did too.
vehineath. But they're hardy underneath, very off-road friendly.
Better looking than a Sport Trek?
Well, I'm sending some pictures to Nick.
The XL7s had some kind of derpy-looking headlights, but it depended on which one you got. But
this one has the derpy. Yeah, this one has the derpy headlights on.
Okay, so that's a facelifted one that's 1.5 second gen, whatever kind of headlights are silly looking.
So hopefully Nick will get them here pretty soon, and he can throw them up there for you guys to see. But that's been my weekend working on this little rig. I think total I have 4.5 hours into it. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
To begin with, the most was just that passenger side getting all the water spots off. But I used Clarity Cream on the glass, got that all cleaned up, got those all done. I've just polished it, bead makered it, and he's probably going to flip it, probably going to sell it. He might keep it for a few months and then get rid of it again. But yeah, so that was mine. Augie, though, had a bit of a cough this weekend.
Uh-oh.
So Carly sent him home from school on Friday because she's the school nurse. So she sent him home because she said it just sounded weird. And she's like, let's just watch it and see how he does. He did great all weekend. He did great. But because she sent him home with that, we needed to have a negative COVID test for him before he could return back to school. So he went home on Friday. I took him in this morning to get his COVID test, so I'm just hanging out with him. He's fine. We went and got some McDonald's this morning. He's hanging out, enjoying the day, sitting, playing on a tablet and watching TV.
Okay.
So, but no one could watch him today, so I picked the short straw. So I'm hanging out with him today, and then I'll be in tomorrow. And like I said, as soon as we get his negative test back, we did a rapid test at home on Saturday afternoon, and that came up negative. And so we'll do this We did a PCR test this morning, so we should get those.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Pretty sweet.
Like I said, it's in really, really, really good shape. It's just just kind of old man dirt is all it has on it.
$1,500, dude. I mean, dude.
$1,500 for that. And the interior's in perfect shape. It's crazy. And that's the thing, it goes back to our cheap car challenge. If this was in our cheap car challenge, I would have
been a solid contender in this market.
Because that's a $5,000 vehicle all day long.
Because there's so many families and people out there looking for something that has four-wheel or all-wheel drive, that has space with a third row. Yes, it's a small SUV, but at the same time, it is way more durable than the crossovers that you see today. Back then, that was still very kind of truck-based.
That had a full ladder.
Rear-wheel drive.
A full ladder frame.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
you jumped that thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anthony, there was a guy. So there was a guy I've seen that actually put Dana 60 solid axle Dana 60 swap front and rear and put it on 40s.
Yeah. Basically, you can do Jeep stuff with them, and it'll hold up to just about anything you throw at it.
Yeah, dudes will LS swap those things. They'll find the 4-bolt Cummins or the smaller Cummins. They'll put those in.
Oh yeah, the 4BT.
Yeah. There's so many things that you can do to these little Suzukis. The hardest thing for them is just that little V6 in there. Is very, very.
They're kind of anemic from stock, but the reason they don't do well on the used market or like for trade-in value and stuff is because Suzuki really isn't present in the U.S. anymore in terms of cars, trucks, stuff like that. They don't really have a dealer network. So other dealers look at that and go, there's no dealer support network if somebody needs parts or whatever. It's like for somebody like us, like an enthusiast, you can find stuff pretty easily. I find stuff for my van that's next to impossible to find things for in the U.S., but it's possible. And the Suzukis, they made so many earlier on that you're able to still find a lot of parts that'll change over. It's just for the dealers, they want to make a quick buck, and that's not as easy with that. So they got to lower the price to make it worth their while.
Yeah. So I ordered some crumble cookies.
Did you
Saturday
really?
Evening.
Delicious.
Yeah, for my children. I ordered chocolate chip and Oreo. So it's a chocolate cookie with like the Oreo cream frosting on there.
Oh, yeah.
And a little bit of a little more
Sprinkles.
crumbled Oreo.
Yeah,
on top.
crumbled Oreo.
Oh, it's delicious. Absolutely insane. Had that with the kids.
Well, so really quick, you know who hasn't bought cookies here in a while, which has been a good thing, I think, for all of us? Nick, right? So Nick typically likes to sabotage us and says, hey, guys, I just ordered some chip cookies, and I just happened to order 5 boxes. And I'm like, why did you order so many? He's like, oh, oh, my God.
You evil man.
Like
For those who can't hear, Nick just spoke in our ears, said
like,
he's saving it
save
for
that
Wednesday.
for Wednesday, right? So he'll just show up.
No.
It is dangerous. It is.
It's the one thing we can't say no to. It's the one thing.
We have no
because you let them sit too
power.
long. You're letting something so good go to waste. You feel guilty just by looking at it. You're like, oh, I've already committed this. I have to.
Well, remember, they're hand forged cookies.
They are.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You know, that's someone's blood, sweat, and tears inside that cookie. And I feel guilty if I don't eat it and enjoy it for their hard work and sacrifice.
I don't feel the same way about crumble though that I do chip.
True.
Right? Chip for some reason. There's an ingredient in there that goes straight to like a happy part of my brain, and like it fills me with euphoria. Right? When I eat a crumble cookie, I'm just kind of like, it's just
a cookie. It's good.
Just like a
but
cookie.
it's as good as any cookie would be.
Like when I eat a warm chip cookie, it does something to me.
It's like biting into a really substantial brownie or piece of cake or something. It's just got more volume to it.
It's the density.
It's
the
so
volume.
Dense. Yeah.
But
Cookies
it's also
are the same.
Yeah.
Dude,
They are the same size.
But when I cut into one of those dang Biscoff cookies, right?
The Bifrost.
The Bifrost cookies, it puts me
world
into
ends
another
right there.
realm. It's not good. It's just talking about it right now. I have chills.
You're getting hungry.
I have chills going down my
So-
arms.
So the reason I ordered crumble instead of chip is because my children, as much as they love the Bifrost and walking across the Rainbow Bridge, they can't.
Thank you, David.
They don't like chip.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
It's very strange. I'm like, it's one of those things.
No,
like,
your
last
kids are
time I ordered
defective.
chip,
Throw them out. Try again.
That's how I feel sometimes. So they really like. My wife said they like crumble, so I said, well, I'll order crumble. So then I told them, and they were like, yeah, woo, we had crumble.
It's hard to be wrong about something subjective, but they're just wrong.
No, it's just I think they might like the crumble marketing and branding more, or maybe just the fun look of the cookies.
Sure.
But like in
Maybe
terms
it's
of
a
like
big pink box.
But in terms of the actual quality of the cookie, I would say that chip has just an overall better quality.
Their product takes it a step further,
but-
even though the marketing and the branding aren't at the same
My
level.
wife orders the chip minis, right?
Uh-huh.
The chip minis do not do the same things as the full-size chips do.
No, it's a different experience.
It's a different experience, and my wife says it's like the same. I'm like, it's not though. It's literally the feeling of taking one of those cookies, breaking it in half, and like biting into the middle where you're.
It's like taking a whole piece of cake. It's like 2 inches tall. You just
It's not good.
So, for
Obesity,
those of you wondering,
Layers of
it's
cookie
chip
dough.
cookies. Is it chipcookies.co?
I'm pretty
People can
sure
buy.
if you look them up,
you can order these. You guys, you can order these. They deliver all over the country. You can
Yeah,
buy
they
the
ship
raw
across the
dough, and
country.
they'll ship you the raw dough, and you can make the cookies yourself at home.
My God! Hold on. So this is what
Is
they've
it
got.
chipcookies.co?
Oh, this is gonna mess you up, man. This is what they got right now. So they
Nick, if you
currently
put that on the
have.
screen.
They currently have.
doing an ad for them. We don't.
Hold on.
They don't do anything
Just
for us. We're
listen to
just.
me.
Okay.
They currently have the sugar chip cookies.
Oh, I don't mind. I
which
love chip.
I love sugar cookies. They have the red velvet chip cookies that look absolutely
dear.
insane. The OG, and then of course the gooey Biscoff cookies. I can't take looking at this right now as it is.
Oh no.
There you go,
God,
There it
they
is.
got it pulled up. Look at these.
Look at that.
Look at these cookies.
Apologies to everybody in the audience who didn't think they were hungry and now they're looking and
My
regretting
mouth is literally watering right now, dude. Like that Biscoff.
Look at that
and
Biscoff.
oh my God, dude. It's nuts.
it. Thank you for pulling
Yeah,
that up,
look,
Jamie.
they ship
10% off.
nationwide. 10% off. Shipping nationwide. You guys need to order your chip cookies
But
today.
are the cookies good nationwide?
I do wonder by the time they traveled. I think they're good when they're hot.
You can
exactly
microwave 'em.
once. And if you microwave them, I think you lose some.
Dude, they would
of
have to
that.
get to me in like a day.
You could-
If they didn't get to me in a day, then I wouldn't
Probably
want them.
though. Yeah, but I think if you could, I think they vacuum seal them.
Oh,
They're going to
okay.
ship them.
That helps.
Maybe
Nick,
like a big Ziploc
Nick, what are
bag
you
so it
feeling out of
holds
those
in some
four
of that moisture.
options? What was calling your name? The sugar, the velvet, Biscoff, original. Red
Red
velvet
Velvet.
was calling Nick's name.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
Well, now that we've
I
talked
may have
about
to
cookies
drive over
and
to
I'm
ship
hungry
after
for this, we need to move past this because it is not good hovering on this for any more time at all. What else you got,
so
Levi?
order crumble. What else happened, Levi?
Well, that was it. We just kind of hung out, had a very light, easy weekend. Like I said, I worked on the car for a little while. Oh, I did my taxes.
Oh,
Did
always
you?
important.
Did that
Yeah.
on Saturday evening. So
Good.
I still have everything here in the MOSHQ for me doing my taxes.
Yeah.
Got them all filed. Not too bad. This year, pretty good. We're going to return at least. I have a feeling that my wife is going to use the return to. We've been telling Augie since he was a little kid that this is the year he goes to Disneyland, 2022. So he'll go with Carly at the end of the year in like November. So we'll probably put some of the money towards that trip. And
Has
then,
Hadley been to Disneyland?
Yeah, she went when she was 8 years old also. So,
But she doesn't get
one
to
of
go.
No, she already went. So she'll go on another time when we all can go.
Okay.
So
Oh, so this is just
So-
your okay. I see.
yeah. So my wife took Hadley with her and her sister's girls one year, and so this year she'll take Augie and they'll go do it. And Carly really liked it. It's kind of like a trip she gets to do with the kids on their own individually, and it's kind of a fun experience for them. So it's also for us, and I don't know. This is me kind of being one of those weird being a parent. I see people take their kids to Disneyland when they're like under 2 years old or under 3 years old.
It's a waste of
That is
money.
such a waste of
a
money.
waste of money.
That's how I am. I'm like, they don't even
Waste.
know. They don't care. At least
don't.
at 8, at like 8 years old,
appreciate it.
They know, they appreciate it. They know
They
the
can
lore.
remember too. I
Like,
can remember when I was 8.
If I see a kid
Yeah.
in a stroller
That's
at
kinda the way,
the park like that, it's not for the kid. It's for the parent at that point. And you know the kid's just
Right.
coming along because they have to. That's really for the parent at that point.
Yeah.
But then again, you're talking
exactly.
about
there's
Disney
certain-
adults,
there's
which is a
certain
whole
kids,
other category of people.
You know,
that-
I've met some kids, right? So there's some certain kids that will remember the day that they were born, right? And you ask them, they
Yeah.
say, "I remember being born." I said, "No, you do not." And they say,
You don't.
and they go into
You think you do.
excruciating
You don't.
detail, and it is quite haunting. And so at that
yeah,
point, I
that
became a
sounds
believer,
scary.
Dane.
I think
But
they confused that with a nightmare they had.
But I will say that I do agree that 8 is a good age. I think even as young as how do I say this? I think as if you were to take because Maverick, right, my little neighbor kid, right?
Okay.
He's super cute and he's 4, but he's like with it, right?
Okay.
I think that he could go to Disneyland, have a blast, may not remember the full experience later on, but be very entertaining at the time.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
I think
at least
maybe
he
from
appreciates
4
it.
to 6, I think that you'll have somebody that's engaged, entertained, having fun, but also potentially falling asleep
5 or 6
after
is
the
when
6
that
hour
starts
mark.
to really kick in.
That's kind of the hard part. You want to have them have enough endurance so that you don't have to shorten the trip. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to have to spend 4 or 5 hours there and then go, well, we got to go back because he or she's asleep, and that's it. You know,
You
want to
paid
be
for
able
a
to go,
full
like,
day
look,
and you barely used.
look, here's what's up. I'm gonna give you some Mountain Dew, and we're gonna get this party started, and we're gonna hit everything we can. You know, Augie has done a great job. He's been working on his Diet Mountain Dew intake. He has been working on his. He's running in PE, so his endurance is up there. So I think this is going to be great. He's going to be entering 3rd grade. It's going to be perfect. He's going to get to go do the whole thing, with his mom. So, like I said, we're probably going to put some of that towards that, and then I'm going to really try this year to get new couches.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, more stab wounds.
Slightly less stabbed couches. Got it.
This weekend, let me just tell you two
They
things
arrived
that
pre-stabbed.
happened on our couches. So, I woke up on Saturday morning. I walk out into the living room. I see there's a couch cushion on the floor. Like the actual cushion that you sit on.
Okay.
It's on the floor. And I go, well, someone must have built a fort. And it wasn't like that when I went to bed. It was put back, right?
Sure.
Augie's in his room playing. I said, hey, did you put that cushion out on the ground? He said, yeah, I did. Why? I said, I don't know. I just wondering why it's on the floor. And he goes, I spilled some soda and I couldn't find a towel, so I used the cushion to mop it up.
Is this couch leather or cloth or what material?
It's cloth, Dane, and horribly stained because of issues like this.
I was imagining he was about to take something leather and take it to try and wipe something up, and just imagine how futile that would be.
Well, I didn't know if it was more sticky apple situations of him smashing an apple on the wall.
So I said
He hates this couch, man. He hates it.
So I was like, yeah. So I go, oh, okay. And I sigh, and I walk out there, and he goes, sorry, Dad, that was an accident. I was like, okay. So I walk out, I pick up the cushion. There's the big old stain underneath. I put it back. I'm just like, I shake my head. I put it back on the couch. So mad. So then, Sunday, I hear Hadley mixing up some sort of brew, some sort of concoction in the kitchen. And I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm making some lemonade. I said, oh, you are? She goes, yeah, I'm making lemonade with red food coloring. I said, okay. It's kind of a weird drink. And she goes,
She wanted pink lemonade.
And so I walk out to the garage to do some work, and I go, well, all right, I'll see what I can do. And so I'm working on the car. I come in, and I notice there are red drops all over the floor, like red drops.
Of course.
And I go, Hadley, is this yours? Are these red drops all you from your drink? And she's like, oh, yeah. I follow the droplets to the couch. There is a big, huge spill on the couch of red food coloring and drink all over the gray couch.
Oh, that's going to sting for sure.
So I go, what happened? She goes, oh, I was drinking it and I spilled it on the couch. And so then I got up, and as I ran to the kitchen to get a towel, because that's where they are, and dripped the red drips all along the side. So anyway, my couches are garbage, and they are gross and filthy, and my kids are the worst humans in the world. So I need to get rid of them. And I was looking at the Kroger.
The kids
or
the couch?
Well, either
Hard to
one,
tell now.
specifically. But the couches, they have some cheap ones. And I'm talking like a $250 couch, one that's disposable.
Sacrificial couch.
Yeah.
I would rather have sacrificial couches that I don't feel bad, because like these couches, we spent like $700 on each one, and I'm like, this is gross. So I need to get some cheap. Maybe what I should do is just buy some
Craigslist
vinyl.
couch? Why not just a big cheap Craigslist couch?
Hold on. Here's the deal. I like Levi's thought on the disposable couch situation, because I agree, right? the couches that me and Katie bought a year and a half ago, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to say they were like $1,400, right?
Yeah,
for the
that's
full
not cheap.
for the full experience, right?
Yeah.
And I think we put them on like the what's it called, RC Willie payment plan or whatever the heck it is. So it makes it more affordable.
That's where I got these ones was from RC Willie.
Makes it more affordable over time, right? But the argument Katie made to me back then was that, hey, if you want a nicer couch, you have to spend more money, right? Like that's
there's build quality difference. You're not just paying more to pay more if it's truly higher quality.
Our couch before that was $700, and I said, "Hey, this is this is kind of expensive." And she's like, "Anthony, you have no idea how expensive couches can get."
It feels like a lot of money, but that's just because you were used to college furniture before.
But then, but I had told her, I said, "But hey, I genuinely think that this canvas material that we have on this $700 couch is good and hardy, right? And like I can tell the density of the fabric working for a textile company. I know what that feels like, right? So when we got this new couch and we special ordered this color and got everything in, I had this feeling that it wasn't going to hold up.
Yeah.
I had the feeling that I'm like, hey, even though we've spent more and we've chosen our fabric that we want or whatever it is, I don't think that this is necessarily built any better than the couch that we previously had.
Well,
and I was right.
It's a more expensive material, but that doesn't just mean it's going to be more durable. That's not always the case.
So so this couch that we have right now, Levi, it's let me down in the fact that the cushions.
How much?
No, the
I was
cushions.
Gonna say, how much spit up is on it?
There's no spit up on it, but the cushions themselves, the foam, has broken down substantially, right? It looks unsightly. I think that the fabric material has pilled to the point where it looks just like a pilly couch. Like the whole couch is pilled. It doesn't look right. Yeah. It looks not good. From up close, from a distance, it's fine. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if I would have known that this couch would have seen this much use and abuse in a year and looked the way it did, for $1,400, whatever the heck we spent, right?
Couch.
I would have rather have bought 3 $400 couches, right? And just change those out because I would have had a fresh looking couch for an entire year. Because now I can only sell that $1,400 couch for what, maybe $600, $700
you
used.
get that particular couch that you're looking at because you want that very specific style and you're willing to pay for that. But any other reason, if you just need a place to sit and that's all you care about, you want something durable, don't go get those nice couches, especially if you have kids or pets, unless you're willing to deal with the repercussions of
Dude,
that.
there's nothing better than that, in my opinion, than an insane top grain, high quality leather, right? With that, we've all sat in those dense leather couches where you go, "Oh my god, this is dense leather," right? Like this is insane. You couldn't puncture that leather even if you wanted to, right?
I think my one I got from Scandinavian's like that.
Is it really?
It's very dense leather. It's nice.
Used to not like leather couches, right? Because I lived in a household where my parents would be like, "We're not going to run the AC today to save money,"
and
I would say,
cold,
okay.
And when it's hot, they're sticky, and it's all
when you're sitting on a leather couch in the middle of the summer in a 90-degree day, it gets pretty sticky. But I think that leather. I'm just a leather couch guy.
Sorry to derail it from you, Levi, but continue.
No, so that's kind of the thing. You know, Carly and I had disposable couches because we were cheap. We just bought a couple things and used them and wore them out, and bought some new ones. And then when we had kids, we thought they got messy and they got dirty, and we thought, man, this is getting crazy. So then when we bought this house, my wife was like, "Ooh, this will be the nice living room. This is where we'll hang out. We'll build a playroom that the kids can go in there and they can do stuff." And so the durable couch that is designed for the kids is upstairs in the theater. Mm-hmm. They don't like going upstairs because they think it's haunted.
What?
Well, it could potentially be haunted.
So they stay downstairs. And they sit in the living room, and I'm like, the problem is we have a television in here. If we got rid of the TV, they wouldn't congregate and hang out in here. Like, I would take that TV out and put it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Like, so that's the frustrating thing is that, like, that it's just my kids. Like, they eat, sleep, and breathe everything right there in that living
If
room.
you covered your new couch, right, in plastic sheeting.
Yeah.
Like an
I
old
know it's
widow
super tacky.
lady with her
I know
entire
it's super
manor
tacky,
I would-
but it's just do
At
it.
this point, I'm ready for it. At this point, I'm ready. If I bought a new couch, I'd be PPFing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you just do it, or I just love the disposable couch idea, where you just say you don't tell him that this is a $200 couch, right? But you just you see how it does, and I don't know, because I'm telling you right now, we bought a $1,400 couch, right? Best case scenario,
all my stuff's coated.
I clean it up, I sell it for $700, right? I could have bought 5 $200 couches in the same amount of time and lost about the same money.
Don't spend the money on it unless you're planning to hold on to it for a very long time and you truly love it. Barring that, just get yourself something that
Scandinavian
does the job
furniture.
of holding people up.
So that was it. That was my weekend. Just I'll put it in the group chat later. Just I'll send a video of what my couch looks like at the moment.
Share your
haunting.
couches, everyone.
It's haunting, dudes. It's bad. But anyway,
I'm sorry.
How was your guys' weekends?
Dane, what about you?
Mine was pretty simple. So, as you know, due to the house I just moved into after 2 weeks, flooding upstairs, a great joy that was to discover as time went on. So that's being worked on, which means none of the bathrooms in that house are really functional because they're all essentially on top of each other, which meant each one was affected going down. However, the plus side is, unlike a lot of houses I see that are like 2 stories or whatever, the kitchen was not under the area where the water happened, which I hear is a very expensive fix. So thank goodness that wasn't the case. But no, this weekend took it pretty easy. Ended up going up to McCall. So that was actually really nice. Went to the cabin up at Tamarack, hung out. And my dad and brother did a little skiing. So my brother was up there with us. And Liz and I went up and we took Callie with us, the dog, Great Pyrenees, Red Heeler mix. And she loved it out there. I took a brief little video clip while I was standing out on the porch. It's just beautiful out there, but it's just a lovely place to be. So really enjoyed the opportunity to get out in the snow, drive up there, and have a good chat. Basically, my mom rode a shotgun, Liz rode in the back, and we all just had wonderful chats on our drive up, and I just drove us up
You guys
there.
all drove together?
Yeah, I drove. Well, I drove my mom and Liz and Callie and Cooper. So my dad and brother came up separately after us.
Oh, okay.
So they were in the other truck.
Well, that's nice.
So
what a
it was
nice
just
little
a nice
getaway.
little family get together, and I really enjoyed spending time with my family again, getting to do it this way. It's not under the best of circumstances, but we're making the most of it, and I'm really happy to reconnect like that because I realize, working at the company here, I see them all the time, but it's a little different, because you're at work and you're doing business-related stuff. When you're separate from that, you could just, have real conversations as people where it doesn't always have to be about work, if you can help it. But, it's been really nice. And I got Callie one of those new Wi-Fi collars. It's called Fi. And
so she's a mobile hotspot now.
She's a mobile
Work
hotspot.
on your laptop. Just tap in.
So
what's the password for Callie?
It's kind of cool. I think I lucked out because I've been seeing these Fi collars for like a month or two, and I just happened to catch an ad on Facebook, and darn it, don't they know you? So I was looking, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? And normally they're like $150 or something like that. They were running a National Mutt Week, and they took $100 off these things. It was only $50. So at that point, I was like, crap, I can't not do it now. So I really wanted to get one. And part of the reason is, unlike a lot of dogs, Callie, she's sweet. She's a wonderful dog, loves people, all that good stuff. But she's a runner, as we all know. She's a runner, and she thinks it's the best game ever. She gets loose, she is off. And tracking her down is not always the easiest because when she sees you running after her, she thinks it's a game and wants to keep it going. So, little sketchy. So, by having, and she's an escape artist. Like, if you give her any kind of way to get out of a yard, she'll find it and she'll do it. Luckily, new house, very secure. The previous owners loved their dogs and they made sure they had lots of ways to look out the fence, but no ways to get out of that fence. So, that's good. And
like
you guys
prison.
saw as well. Yeah, like a prison, but with nice amenities for dogs.
Yeah, very nice.
So,
Prison for dogs.
now I have essentially GPS tracking on the dog and her collar. And it also has a little built-in LED light. So say it's like out at night and you're looking for her, you can literally tap a little button on your phone and it lights her up. And you're like, oh, there's my dog.
Right.
Oh,
So
funny.
That's awesome.
pretty handy. Yeah. So I was pretty stoked about that, especially $150 collar for $50. Yeah. All right. I'll do that.
yeah.
But I think Anthony Blaine got one for his dog too when he saw I shared that deal. So I was happy to see somebody else
Yeah.
took advantage too. But I'm sure they'll do something again. But anyway, that was fun, and it was a good test of it because you can set little safe zones on it. So you just kind of pick like an address, and then you set a radius in feet around that space. And if the dog leaves the barrier, that it sends you like a push notification on your phone. And it's like, hey, so your dog is outside of this range. Just thought you should know. And when you're with your dog, it tells you whether it's with an owner or not. So Liz and I have our phones programmed to work with the collar, so it knows when Callie's with Liz or with me, and it'll say as much and for how long and in what location. So wherever she goes, it'll show you the duration too. So it gives you a more accurate timeline. I mean, I know some people are freaked out by location data stuff, but in this case, it's one of those things like, okay, I'll take the hit.
Now you'll know where Liz is all the time.
It's just
she's with the dog.
It's whatever. But yeah, no, it's totally fine. It's just it's one of those things where I was like, okay, for the sake of she's getting older, but she still likes to escape or whatever. I just like that peace of mind. So got that covered now. So that was nice.
No, I think that's awesome, Dane. I think it's awesome because I remember those days where she would take off running.
Oh my
and it was
God.
30 minutes trying to find her.
Rebecca and I chasing her into like the wildlife reserve across the street from our previous store location, across a busy road and everything. No thanks, no more of that. But no, it's been good. I guess other than that, my folks, because I don't know what, they started watching that show Yellowstone, and they got me to actually watch a few episodes, and now I'm like in it. So that's the other thing I've been doing, is kind of catching up to them.
What
on
a
that.
sucker.
Yeah,
You fell
I
for
know.
it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's like Succession." It's not like Succession at all. I would put it more like Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy or something like that, but with cowboys. So it's kind of like in that vein. But it's a good time. It's a fun watch. It's very soap opera-y and goofy at times, where I'm like, "Oh, come on!" When you're watching something happen on screen, you're like, "That is ridiculous," and then you're just kind of like, "Yeah, but what happens next?" So yeah, get a little bit of that. But anyway, that's been mostly what I've been up to, other than just doing what we're doing around here. And I had a lot of fun last week when we were doing our super secret awesome video shoot for what's coming up for a little project. So I would say I'd say more about that, but I don't want to give away the game just yet. So we're having fun with that though. And tomorrow we'll have Levi with us. We'll be doing another part of that video, and it is going to be a journey. We are actors, thespians. So this will be fun. Acting. Okay. Anyway, that was my weekend. Really not much more to report than that. It was just a very lovely, happy time. And I love nature. Love being out in it. So that's it.
Good.
Anthony?
So Tom Kirby says, Dane, can you share that link for the dog collar? I think that Dane can. He'll probably put it down in the comments after the video is over.
Let me pull it up here for you, buddy, while Anthony talks.
So my weekend was actually pretty laid back. Nothing too crazy. So Friday night was just kind of hanging out around the house. I was doing a little bit of some organization in the garage. I am so unhappy with how my garage looks right now that it is driving me crazy. So I have just this giant box full of parts for my little CRZ that I need to go take to get painted, right? But I'm waiting for the weather to warm up. But this box literally is massive. It is half the size of a car, and it's just kind of sitting right in the middle of the garage. And then on the other side, I have all this MDF that I need to get rid of. I'm hoping I'll sell it to Gabe's dad, who needs some MDF for a project, or Nick, who also needs some MDF for a project. I just want it gone at this point. But apparently it's worth a little bit of money. So I want to kind of like, what's it worth? What should I sell it for? I don't know. But I have a lot. So I just want to get that kind of cleaned up again, because I think that it's been too long now that my space isn't the way I want it to look. Besides that, right? So I spent Friday night just kind of chill, hanging out, doing that. Me and Katie started watching this show called Murderville. Have you seen it?
I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
You guys, I think, would like it. So it's basically, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's from Arrested Development. I think he's from Arrested Development. He plays a detective, right? and he and the rest of the cast in the show have full lines that they have to say, right? They are given their own lines. What they do is they pull in people from the celebrity industry into the show with no lines, and they have to make up the thing as they go, right? But it is produced in the way that it is a real show and not just a skit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it's Will Arnett. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He voices like Lego Batman and other stuff like that.
Is that
too.
who it
Everybody
is?
knows Will Arnett's voice.
Okay. So anyway, yes. So it's like it feels like a real produced show in the sense that all the other actors they have cheesy lines, but they have dedicated lines and they know what they're supposed to say. But the person they pull in, the guest appearance that they pull in, has no idea what's going on and literally has to come up with everything on the fly. So it's pretty hilarious. So the first one is with Conan, right? So Conan O'Brien comes in and his was pretty great. And then they had Marshawn Lynch, right? Marshawn Lynch was hands down my favorite.
Oh, no. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh, it's good. And you guys would love it. And then they pull in like Annie, whatever her name is, from Schitt's Creek. And then they pull in, I don't know, there's some other people. But it's worth watching. I wasn't sure about it at first, but it was actually quite funny. So we watched that. And then Saturday, I put all the Christmas stuff up. So I got to climb up into my garage, my extra house in my garage, right? What did I call it before? It's my attic space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up there.
The upstairs wing.
Yeah, it's where basically Grant Hawtrey's family is currently residing, right? But they moved to a different wing of the house. I don't know where they're at currently.
Yeah.
I went up there and they
you hear the skittering noises in the
Yeah.
they make a.
I don't know what's going on up there.
Can't really see it.
But I anyways got up there and I reorganized everything. What's crazy is that the ability to stand up there is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
To stand upright and just be like, wow, I've built this. all I did was take some OSB sheeting and just drill it into the what's it called?
You look at the contract. You
studs.
built this?
into your
I built
trusses.
this.
That's all I did.
Into your
That's all
joists.
It's all I did is just take boards and drill it into my studs on there. But I'm just standing in there being like, wow, I did
Nice, Daniel.
all of this on my own. Amazing. It's just so funny. So I got everything stacked up in there, and I had plenty of room this time, right? I organized it in a way where I'm like, okay, dude, I got like quite a bit of room up here.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I actually had Katie undo or take off all the ornaments off the tree, right?
Okay.
We have a pretty big fake tree, bagged it in 2 different bags. I got that tree up in there.
Ooh.
Which a fake tree and a big tree bag.
How did you get up the ladder?
I walked up about halfway.
Were you like holding it like this as you walk up?
Yep,
You were just kind of
started shoving it up in there. So I got both 8-foot tree bags inside the up there, right?
Dang.
I don't know how I'm going to get them out because going in, I had them in like a particular angle to where it kind of worked. But anyway,
when they come down,
We just
you
throw
better
them
hope
down.
they don't hit your
Yeah, you
car.
dude, but like I know, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, this is kind of an expensive tree, and it's got all LEDs in it and things like that. I can't really be rough with it, but I really just want it out of the garage and up inside there.
But it's bagged up, right?
It's bagged up.
So it's safe enough. I mean,
yeah, it's better than being
you bump
exposed.
around those LEDs, they're super resilient. It takes a lot to actually hurt one of those because there's usually not enough mass to them,
That's
unlike
what I
an
was thinking.
incandescent bulb, to actually cause damage to them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So threw those up there. Still have plenty of room for more fall decor, anything else I need. And then from there, what I ended up doing was I was looking at the ceiling, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't really touched up. There's some spots around the garage I need to touch up. So then I got focused on something completely different, grabbed some paint, and started touching up my garage paint.
Oh,
Why would I do that? I have no idea.
you were just looking for something
I
to
was
do.
just looking for something to do, apparently, and so I just started walking around touching things up. But then me and Katie ended up going on a walk, right? Went down to the river, Boise River, took Lucy, took the dogs. And then this is where, like, things didn't go great, right? So we went on our walk, Had a good time. It was really cold, but this was our first time walking the baby and 2 dogs, right, at the same time.
Who had baby? Who had the dogs?
Katie had the baby in the stroller. I had both the dogs, right? One was wrapped around my hip, like a waist leash thing, right? It's like a
retractable or just solid leash?
No, it's just a solid like belt leash, and then I have the other one in my hand.
Okay.
Well, we walked down the river, checked out. Levi, have you taken your kids to the Eagle Park there over off of by Eagle Road and the Bardnay area over there? There's a park.
No, I don't.
Merrill
venture
Park?
that far west. Yeah,
that's
the boonies. That's the boonies.
Yeah,
Levi, this park
it might as well be
is
Oregon.
awesome.
You might as well be in Oregon.
Nick, can you confirm that Merrill Park is awesome? It's his daughter's favorite park. That's how good it is.
It's a great park.
Oh, okay.
Levi, I'm telling you, I never walked that way, but we were walking up to it and I go, "Oh my God, the quality of the playground equipment is insane." Like the things they have there, I'm like,
well, you see how many cars park on the side of Eagle Road over there to like get into the area.
It's the perfect amount of like dangerous and fun, right? When you look at the playground
anybody
equipment.
who grew up before today's super sanitized stuff knows the danger is the fun part.
It is. And
you guys, on my coffee mug, I got a sticker from Boise OG that says "I survived Camel's Back Park."
Yeah, that insane slide
I'm
they
one of
used
the
to
old.
have.
I'm one of the old '80s kids that the hot metal slides.
Hot
that
metal
was just
slide.
a dark tunnel, 20-foot drop. So
I started looking at that site and was laughing a lot. It's great.
But yeah, great park. We kind of just walked around. I was like, this is cool. I can't wait someday when she's old enough to start taking her here. A little water park thing, a little water park feature as well. But after that, right, so me and Casey said, let's go get Chick-fil-A. So we loaded the dogs up into the back, got the baby into the middle seat, right, and we're driving through Chick-fil-A. This is our first time ever taking our dogs and a baby through a drive-through, right?
Obviously, you're in the Forerunner because
We're in the
nothing else will
Forerunner.
fit you all.
But the problem is my dogs
you have the cage.
no.
No barrier.
Listen, what
You have
happens?
the pet barrier.
So my dogs are very good dogs, right? They love people, and when I take them through a drive-through, they like just to see what's going on, right? So they'll peek their faces out, and they'll kind of try to climb over a seat just to say hi. And it's usually not that big of a deal when it's in the Ram or if it's just me by myself.
Sure.
It's not that big of a deal. But what happened was we have a baby in the middle seat now, right? So we pull up to Chick-fil-A. My smaller golden retriever starts climbing over from the back into the middle
He's not
seat,
that small.
right?
He's not that small.
So he's 80. He's like 80,
Your
90
dogs are the
pounds,
size of
whatever it is.
Rottweilers. Whatever. You might as well have 2 Rottweilers. Those golden retrievers are monsters.
So
They're
this
so
dog
big. They're so
starts climbing into the middle seat, right? And at first, I'm like, okay, Huck, get back, stop doing that. I still had his harness on him, right? So he's getting caught up on the seat, and next thing you know, like the lady at the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A is like, okay, so what do you want? And Katie's trying to order, and Katie looks back and she goes, oh my God, the dog's on the baby, right? And so my dog was standing on my child. And so
it's a good thing they're squishy at that
in the car seat, right? And I'm like, holy crap, right? I'm like, and Katie's like, get out of the car, get the dog, right? I am in the middle of the Chick-fil-A drive-thru during lunch rush hour.
Which,
there is
to those who don't know, there's like 100
behind
cars in
me.
that line.
There's 10 cars ahead of me, right? I climb out, open up the side door. I am now pulling this golden retriever out of the side of the car, but I can't because his leash is tethered, got wrapped around the headrest, right? But I'm trying to get him off of my baby, right? So
you need to invest in one of those metal barriers. They're not that expensive, and it does everything you need it to.
The dog is upside down as I'm trying to yank him out of this, right? People are looking at me like, this guy just opened up this door, is trying to steal this dog. Like, looking at me like I'm a crazy person. So I finally got the dog out, and I said, all right, Katie, this already looks weird. I'm just going to take the dog, close the door, and I'll wait for you once the drive-thru is over, type of thing. So I just went and walked around the village until Katie got done, getting our food. But so that's where I'm at. I have to order one of those cages.
At worst, it's like $100 or $150 for one of those, but you can find them on Craigslist
might
all day
even
long
be-
from people
Yeah.
who are just like, I just finished, I got a different car, it doesn't fit anymore. People are selling those things all the time.
Yeah, so
Look for
I
one
need
on
to-
Craigslist.
I used to have it for my Jeep. I got rid of them once. I got a small dog that didn't do
So
that.
I
And
need to,
they work perfectly,
I need to
yeah.
get one. So, because I was like, I can't have that happen again.
No.
Luckily, Lucy was fine. She was unfazed. She was just like, oh, a
Well,
dog's
it's a
standing
soft,
on
big,
me.
soft golden
Yeah.
retriever.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal.
No,
But
the other thing though is that's good though, Anthony, is for cargo protection.
Yeah,
So,
keep stuff from
Yeah.
flying
Just
forward.
to keep,
yeah,
if God forbid anything like happens with a car wreck or something, the things that are in the back, nothing
Yeah.
gets thrown forward onto
True.
the kid. So
no, I agree.
that's the other reason.
So I got to look into picking up one of those, right? And then Sunday, right? Sunday was pretty chill. I think that for the most part, I woke up, thought it would be a good day to go out for a good junkyard run, right?
Little expedition.
Went out to both Nampa and Caldwell.
Because you wanted to, or because you didn't find what you were looking for at the first place?
No, because I wanted to. I wanted
okay.
to go out there and check things out. I haven't gone out. I haven't gone out to the Nampa and Caldwell location in about a year.
Oh, that's
So I wanted to see
that's
what
a while.
kind of inventory we working with.
Well,
right?
it's your theme park, so
And so, of course, whenever I go, I found a lot of interesting vehicles, things that Dane would probably love, that he would
yeah.
love just to go in and
what
smell.
did you find this time? Because I didn't see.
Oh
what
my
you,
God.
looked around at.
I saw a lot of old school RX-7s, the old RX-7, from the 80s, the
Like the
80,
the FC.
yeah, no, before that.
Oh, okay. We're
whatever
talking
the heck
earlier.
that's called.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck
We're
those
talking
are.
like the SA.
Yeah, but like some old school ones, and oh man, I don't know. There's a ton. I can't even think of the other ones, but walked through, and I didn't find anything that I was looking for or anything that I wanted. It looked like the car's been sitting there for quite some time, right? Me and Levi have gone to the junkyard enough to know when a car is sat for like 3 or 4 months.
It's
So
picked
that's what
clean out.
it's picked clean, or it's just you can tell by the even junkyard cars have lot rot, right? You can tell
yeah.
this has been here for a while.
when they start growing like a terrarium inside.
Yeah, there's certain smells too. You can tell
yeah.
tell when a car's been sitting by its smells. But it didn't. I just didn't find anything. Right, went to both locations. Everything. The Caldwell location had less stuff than it's ever had. Nampa was just kind of whatever. And I said, okay, you know what? I mocked it up as being. I'm not gonna find. It's a dud. I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for.
What about the secret location in Garden City, though? Have you
So
been there
I
lately?
No, I haven't gone there lately. I need to
Okay.
go back. I need to go
That
check
place
it
tends
out.
to have good stuff.
Yeah, I know. And I did that, and then came home, and then I took the baby for several hours while Katie worked, and she had to work from home on Sunday, so I took the baby, watched some shows, caught up on the the newest Peacemaker episode.
I need to catch up. I haven't seen.
I
them all
started
yet.
trying to watch that new show, We're All Dead.
I don't know that one.
New South Korean show.
Oh wait, I
on
have seen a
Netflix.
trailer for that
The-
one, like
the zombie.
type show. Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be more like what's it called? The other South Korean show that we all loved.
Oh well, if you're talking about that, it wasn't going to be anything like that.
No, not at all.
No, it's
What's
not
that
Squid
show
Game.
called? Why
You're
can't I
talking
think
about
of it?
Squid Game.
Squid Game, yeah, not like Squid Game.
No.
not even. Didn't even
But
feel
they're
like Squid
banking
Game.
on people not knowing the difference and just, oh, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's another South
Well,
Korean show I
was
want to
hoping
watch.
it would be like maybe of that nature of style, but it's just not. And so I couldn't really get into it, but I did that, and then
I would still recommend
know.
Hellbound if you haven't seen that.
Hellbound.
That's the other South Korean show I watched after Squid Game and actually really liked.
Yeah. Well, that. I mean, honestly, guys, I wish there was more to report. I'm going to. Think this week, right? We're gonna be in the 40. We're gonna hit 40 degrees. 41, 42 degrees.
Some people are going, oh my God, so cold. And we're like, oh, finally some
I
warmth.
am like looking. I can't wait, man. The second it hits 50, right? Shorts are coming back on at 50, right?
Oh, man.
Shorts are back on. Motorcycle rides daily. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good times. I'm excited.
Yeah, my house was cold on Saturday night. It was,
Was
like
it?
I looked. It was set at 70, but my house itself was like 65 degrees. The thermostat.
Hey, that's
It was
what I
saying
set
that
mine
the
at.
house- It was trying to get to 70, and I was like, man, it's cold in here. And I don't know. It was the same temperature as my garage. It was weird.
Huh.
Really?
And normally
maybe
my
it is
garage is
haunted.
my garage is always 65, and the house is, what I set the thermostat at. So for it to be exactly 65 in both buildings, both rooms, I was like, man,
That's pretty warm
cold.
for a
It was-
garage.
But it was, Dane, the MOSHQ is fully heated and insulated.
Yeah. No, that
So
shows. If it's
65
in there,
is 65 is good. I can work at 65. I don't
Yeah.
like that it gets any hotter or warmer than that. But my home, where I want to relax, spend
Sure.
some time, needs to be a little warmer. So I had to really crank up the heat for a little while to get the temperature up. But it was because it was like 21 degrees or something outside. So I think it was just so cold outside for so long on Saturday. Saturday was cold.
Saturday was hard to, after our walk, it was hard to get the warmth back in our hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you
Exactly.
feel it,
Yeah.
you feel it in your hands for a long period of time.
Bye,
Yeah.
Graham. Have a good dinner.
But yeah, I agree. I'm kind of over the cold now. I'm ready for it to warm up now. And I'm also over the darkness. So it's starting to get a little bit lighter at night, but I need some more sunlight in my life. And I'm also ready for all this construction around the rag company to be done.
Oh man, the
Yeah,
fear
that
of
is
running
a
through a
mess.
pothole or driving over a screw or any number of things just continues.
Once that's done, I think I'll be I'll feel more
You'll be relieved.
relieved at home,
Yeah.
right? People don't understand, like, all this lot, our whole entire lot is so torn up right now.
For
It's
months.
hard
Well, it's
because
so messy.
well, Jimmy brought his Miata right on Friday. He's like, "Hey, I
Yeah.
can't wait to drive my Miata." It got so dusty. That car got so it was clean
Just
when you
from
dropped it
sitting
off.
there.
Just from sitting there. So it's like your car's gonna get absolutely filthy just sitting there.
Because
in
they're
the
driving
lot.
heavy tracked excavators. They got
Yeah.
different loaders going by. There's all kinds of cranes and stuff operating. It's just constant movement. And it's only like a 20-foot wide stretch in front of our building past our parking spots. That's a drivable area to go between the construction lots. So all the heavy machinery is going through that and driving over a big mud hump over there to get into the other lot. And it's just, yeah, they're all going past the cars up front here and getting everything covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's all I got, Dane.
roady. It's crazy.
All right. Well, does that pretty much wrap up our weekends?
I think so,
Yeah.
Dane. I think that
Okay.
ties it up into a neat little bow.
That does. It was a nice, concise episode. We hit what we wanted to hit and moved on from there. And get that pet barrier. I think that's going to make a big difference. And
I
it's a
agree.
forerunner. Roll down the back window. You can do that. Distract the dogs with an opportunity to poke their nose out. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Gals, thank you so much for watching, for listening. We appreciate all of that. And obviously, if you're not subscribed, you should be. What are you doing? Please subscribe. We all appreciate that. And that way you know whenever we release a new episode here on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. And then, of course, we've got some great videos coming out on the Rag Company YouTube channel, the main channel. Look out for those later this week. Also, later this week, we have Q&A Thursday, where you'll see all of us again answering your detailing questions. That's where it all happens. That's where the magic is. So make sure you don't miss that. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's go shoot some cool videos.
Heck yeah.
See ya.
See ya.